Hello, good evening everyone, good evening. This is Christine Crowell and wow, today is amazing because I have seen gold and silver go up. So today's video is really, are you ready to dive into the dynamic world of silver stacking and precious metals like gold, for example? Whether you are a seasoned market seasoned stacker, for example, and an enthusiastic investor, or just curious about how to safeguard your wealth, then this video is for you, especially during these unpredictable times, really, economic times. You just landed right in the right place. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the latest headlines, the market trends, and the burning question on everyone's mind. Is now the time to sell gold and silver? Or is it the time to buy? Just put a link in the comments whether it's time to buy gold or whether it's time to sell silver, for example, or to buy or sell, for example. Silver's hitting, really, it's quietly in the shadows, but here's the truth. No one really tells you about silver. It is undervalued in the middle of a recession, and in 2025, April 2025, silver's role is in global finance. And it's about to be unleashed like never before. Now, I'm going to share with you the gold market as well as the silver. I'm not saying that you're to just buy silver. I'm saying it's whatever you can afford, you should purchase, for example. Because I understand not everyone can purchase gold straight away, for example. So the silver market currently at the moment, looking at this is Kitco's website, it is going up and it's at $31.15. It's going up, and the top price is $31.25. That's silver during these economic times, and I'll go into the tariffs in a bit. Now, with regards to gold, gold currently has gone up as well at $3,174.60. It's going up, and that is at the price of me talking right now. So hopefully you can hear me. So let me know whether you're interested in buying gold or whether you're interested in buying silver, because I'm interested in buying both. But what percentages do you buy? It is entirely up to you. Some people say, hey, keep the gold, and then when the silver shoots up more to like 50, then you start buying. But it really depends on what you can afford. And silver is going to increase in value. However, I am not a financial advisor. If you are seeking financial investor information, then you need to speak with someone who's qualified to give you that information. I'm just an ordinary girl that is just woman that's interested in gold and silver because it's something which I've known about for 18 years, since 2007, when I used to host my own gold and silver scrap parties, for example, and then refine them into gold bars or silver bars, for example, and coins. So what do you think? Do you think that it's a good time to sell, or do you think it's a good time to buy? So I'm going to carry on here. Now, silver is really stabilizing while gold is rebound. It is coming back. Yes, growth is happening. And I've just explained to you from what I saw on Kitco website, for example, currently right now. And it is growing fast. Gold is growing fast. But the news is also full of fear. So 99.9% of people will either lose their gold and silver, i.e. sell because they're panicking, for example, or the small percentage will be buying. So President Trump, new tariffs created global instability, for example. Trade wars are heating up, for example. Inflation is rising and the demand for precious metals is spiking worldwide. Now, it's put a pause on the tariffs worldwide, apart from China, for example. It's put a pause on it for 90 days. However, China, it's at 125% tariff, I believe. I believe he said that the tariffs were for the rest of the other countries around the world, 10%, for example. But he's also said, look, you come to me and we can discuss what the rates are going to be, for example. Just drink my tea. You know, we saw for so many days he stood with a stance saying he is not going to reduce these tariffs. We're going to carry on with these tariffs. Everyone is going to pay, for example. But what was happening is that the markets were crashing terribly. They were just free falling. But I did notice that gold and silver was hanging on there, just trying to push its way up there, for example. But today it's like, because of the tariffs have been paused for 90 days, for example, then it's like all systems are a go again in the stock market, for example. But it is a bit of instability. But we do know with gold and silver, it is still going to stand the test of time, because that really is the monetary system from my point of view, for example. So the demand for precious metals, it is spiking worldwide. So here's what this means for your precious metals. And once again, it's in the spotlight as a safe haven against the economic turmoil. But timing is everything, for example. So silver shortages, it's real. The inflation-driven demand spikes, that's happening right now. We've got the banks, we've got the central banks, we've got the reserves, we've got the millionaires, the billionaires. Guess what they're ordering? Tons and tons of silver. Silver is also being drained as well from Lima, for example. So why do you think that is? Do you think that's because silver is worthless and that it's not going to increase in value at some point? Look, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm here in it for 5-10 years time, because I'm looking at my legacy. I'm looking at my retirement fund, because at the end of the day, we don't truly know how much of our retirement that we're going to actually get because of all of this instability that's happened, for example. Now, imagine that you've got your coins, you've got your bullions, you've got your gold coins, you've got your silver coins. Like, for example, silver coins, for example. Now, over time, they are going to increase. And in this video, I want to share with you not just the market today, but what it's likely heading for next from what I've heard from the experts, for example. And I've been following and listening and studying the experts. Look, Warren Buffett brought silver, tons of silver, twice. And yes, he sold them on for a hedge, for example, but he still made a profit from it. Now, David Baitman spent $305 million on silver just recently. And from that, purchasing that brought him to 60 million on top of what he paid, for example. So do you really think that silver isn't worth anything? If you're looking at a long-term plan, yes, have gold, but also have silver. And there's a time where you can, because some people are actually selling silver to buy, selling gold to buy silver because they're waiting for that boom to happen. Because silver is an industrial as well as a commodity as well. So who do you think is going to be the world's superpower for precious metal market? Will it be the USA? Will it be China? Where will it be around the world, for example? Just imagine. So in this video, I'm going to be talking with you about where the market is today, but where it's likely to head next. And I'll give you my personal stacking strategy for April 2025 to help you stay ahead of the curve. So don't forget to download your stacking calculator. I will put that free download in the description here so that you'll be able to download it. And thank you for those of you that have been downloading the stacker. I do appreciate you, and I hope that you are getting the benefit from it and understanding that by you watching the video that relates to the stacker calculator, and that you're able to see where your wealth is going and what your goals are, for example. So don't forget to download the stacker calculator here. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the channel, for example. And what I want to do is to enable you to get weekly updates about gold and silver, for example. Now, if you've enjoyed the video, please do subscribe. I do appreciate your comments. I appreciate your likes. I love it when you've subscribed. That lets me know that I'm in the right direction, because I find this really fascinating, right? I started this in 2007 by buying broken jewelry, gold and silver that was scrap, hosting gold and silver parties in 2007, and also going to someone's house and they would host the parties there, and I would bring the scales, the eye loop, for example, the market spot price for the day, for example, so I knew what I was offering. But what was so wonderful with this is that I would look at what the spot price is, and then I would then look at a reduced like 30% less, because it was broken jewelry. It was broken. It would be like one earring or a broken piece of bracelet or a necklace, for example, that was broken. Or there'd be a gold clasp, for example. All these little things would add up that someone would bring to the gold and silver party, for example. And then I would weigh them and offer them a price. Also, the host would get something for that. And that was such a good thing, because at the end of the day, you would come out with like a bag of gold and silver, for example, and then in the end what you would do is you'd take it to the refinery to get it smelted down, and then you'd have gold and silver bars from that. So it was an exciting time, for example. So like I said, the market, when I first came on, I told you what the price was then. So again, the silver is now $31.11. Top price is $31.21. Silver, $3,168.60, for example. So it's edging its way up there. Gold and silver is. And that's why I did this video today, because there's been a lot of scarcity. People have been worried about the gold and silver that they've had, with stock markets crashing. Do I sell? I'm worried because I've brought all of this gold or silver, for example, and the prices are going down. Gold and silver always last the test of time. It is something which is a long-term plan, for example, and it's less volatile, like how the stock markets are, for example. So with me, for my gold and silver stacking, it is a 10-year plan for when I'm due to retire in 10 years' time, or maybe not. I can't really see me retiring, tell you the truth, so I'll carry on going as long as possible, for example. So, like I shared with you in the video, are you thinking of selling or buying silver or gold? Where does this fit in for you right now? Knowing what you know, the tariffs. Look, President Trump, he announced the tariffs that is going to happen to the whole world, and is then put a pause, kind of backtracked, put a pause on the tariffs for 90 days to give the leaders of around the world to negotiate with America, for example. So, but now the tariffs have paused, everything's going back up again, stock markets, etc., because it was crashing. But it's like the stock markets are coming back stronger, for example. So download your stacker calculator today, and also I'm going to put the planner in here as well after this video, for example. And what I want to say to you is your future, your financial future is in your hands. So let's stack smart, strong, and stay ahead of the storm. Like I said earlier in my videos about the eagle is an amazing creature. It can live up to the age of 70. When it becomes 40 years old, it has to make that decision as to whether it's going to live or die, because its wings can no longer really carry it, because it's so heavy and weighed down and thick and, cumbersome. Its beak is, clawed, so it's hard to eat, for example. It's hard to grab things, its talons, etc. So what it decides to do, the eagle, what they decide to do is, okay, if I want to live, I need to go up high into the mountains where it's isolated for months. And they start off by breaking their beak so that they form a new beak. And once they've got a new beak, they then pull the feathers and the talons out and it rebuilds new feathers and strong feathers and light feathers. Once it's renewed itself, it's then able to fly high and stronger than ever before. See, when a storm comes, the eagle doesn't run away from the storm. It flies into the storm because it uses that storm to really push the wings to fly high, and it stays high up. You never see an eagle low down. It's always high up, for example. And that is my story to you, is to become an eagle and to really stay strong during these difficult times, but also stay ahead of the storm. And I believe that the gold and silver can do that, because if we stack and we build up the precious metals, then we have a monetary system that we can use in the time of difficulty, because the currency really is going down in value. It's not worth much. You'll notice by the inflation. That's why gold is so high. It's not because the gold is high, it's because the inflation and the dollar, for example. So what is your decision today? Are you going to sell or are you going to buy? I'd love to hear your comments, and I'd love to say for you to look at buying. Some people are selling parts of their gold to get silver because they're seeing that the central banks, the CMAC, the Lima, they're losing a lot of stock. We hear it all the time, don't we? Fort Knox. What's in Fort Knox? We still haven't found out what's in Fort Knox yet, for example. But I'm sure we will do soon, for example. But when that's going to be, we don't know. For example, we just got to wait. But what I want to say to you all is, let's build our own reserves. Let's build our own Fort Knox. Let's build our own vaults. Let's start 1 ounce at a time. I'm not saying to go out there and spend everything you've got, because that would not be a good thing to do. You just buy what you can afford and grow that way. Because silver, although it is at a very lower price, you're able to buy quite a lot for that price, for example. So like I said, Warren Buffett bought silver twice. He does a 30-year cycle, and he's spent lots of money on silver if it's not going to benefit them. Like I said, silver is a dual purpose, industrial as well as commodity wise. For example, gold, the price is, just going up, but silver is the poor relative of gold, for example. And I always say again that silver is like the tortoise, and I believe that that's going to win the race. Gold is, to me, is like the hair, for example. So what percentage of gold are you going to keep, and what percentage of silver are you going to keep? What ratio are you going to have, for example? I'd love to know your comments in the chat here as well. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that that was helpful to you. But let's look at downloading the Stacker Calculator spreadsheet and also to help you to plan. It's designed to help you to track your precious metals and also your portfolio with precision as well. Stay tuned, because I am going to be giving away a lot of free guides, gifts, weekly reports, etc., because I'm fascinated with this and I want to share my journey with you as well. So, what gold and silver are you going for? Let me know in the comments. Alright, so thank you so much, everyone. I've really enjoyed speaking to you today, and I hope that you've enjoyed this live stream, and I look forward to speaking with you all very, very soon tomorrow. Stay tuned for further updates. Stay blessed. Thank you. I know I lost the sound. That's why I'm doing it again. Bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad that you can hear me now, because I thought I can't leave it and not come back on here. I had to finish this off. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Speak to you tomorrow. Take care. Thank you. Bye.